A recent report launched by the United Nations Environment Programme jointly with the UN Habitat said that by 2050, around 70% of the world's population will live in cities, with the biggest increases in urbanization taking place in Africa and Asia. The report also says that investing in greener infrastructure and promoting new technology can place cities on a more sustainable path while tackling climate change and reducing poverty levels. So what are we doing here to improve our cities and eradicate slums in Nigeria? That is our focus today on the program. Welcome to Earth File. I'm Ayola Kasim. Much of the rapid urbanization witnessed to date has been accompanied by increased environmental degradation and growing numbers of urban poor. The UNEP UN Habitat report also says that if current trends continue, supplies of water and energy, transport infrastructure and other resources will come under unprecedented pressure, with serious potential consequences for the quality of life of city dwellers. As indicated in Goal 7 of the Millennium Development Goals, about 100 slum dwellers are expected to access good living conditions by 2020 through provision of basic infrastructure. According to the MDG document, slum improvements, though considerable, are failing to keep pace with growing ranks of the urban balance remains high in sub-Saharan Africa and increases in countries affected by conflict. 6 cities in Nigeria already have more than 1 million inhabitants. With more than 15 million inhabitants, the metropolis of Lagos is the most populous in the sub-Saharan Africa, even though it constitutes just 1% of Nigeria's land area. Unbalanced population distribution combined with high urbanization rates creates intense problems. Meanwhile, urgently needed investment in housing, infrastructure, services and development planned about 280,000 housing units, and the Ministry of Housing, Urban Development and the Environment was created. However, not even 1/4 of the ministry's objectives were achieved. The federal government has approved the sum of 1 billion naira for the upgrading of slums in 5 states across the country in 2013. The fund, which is expected to be administered by the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, is to be used to upgrade slums in Kano, Lagos, Rivers, Abia and Kogi. According to the Minister of Information, 58,632 Nigerians are expected to benefit from the construction of 8,069 houses, which is being built by the federal government through partnership with private housing developers. Over the years, poor policies and lack of credible data have led to indiscriminate growth of slums in different parts of the country, with their consequences. Other urban centers in the country are less concerned about the increased rate of environmental dilapidation. This has hindered the growth of many sectors, which in return has stagnated the economy over the years. There is an increasing level of disparity between urban and rural areas. The problems of the urban areas are as a result of the influx of people from the rural areas, traffic congestion and population amongst others. Some problems arise due to the pressure of people using the facilities compared to the number of people it was designed for. Nigeria's urban infrastructure is crumbling. Water supply, sewage, sanitation, drainage, roads, electricity and waste disposal all suffer from years of serious neglect. Periodic and routine maintenance, by far the most cost-effective infrastructure, spending is almost zero. It has become the norm in Nigeria to wait for a capital infusion to rehabilitate, replacing instead of maintaining the infrastructure. But declining financing resources is making this less feasible and deterioration is accelerating. Compounding the situation is rapid urbanization caused by migration from rural areas. The number of people living in Nigeria's towns and cities is expected to double to 80 million in the next 13 years. Urbanization is a positive force in development. Cities and towns are home to most industries, commerce and services, all of which can be highly productive. Urban pollution and poor management of municipal waste add to the health hazards. Numerous industries dump untreated and often toxic liquids in open gutters, streams, rivers and lagoons. And as elsewhere, fumes from vehicles contaminate the air and water. Over 55% of infrastructures across urban centers in Nigeria have not been fully operational for the past decade. This is associated with poor urban renewal plans, lack of regeneration policies, increased poverty, insecurity, corruption, insufficient environmental regeneration, stakeholders' differences, and inefficiency in incorporating people's initiatives. Nonetheless, sustainable urban renewal in Nigeria is important to mitigate against climate change challenges. This is because while most urban centers are located on low-lying coastlines, others are located in the arid zones of the country. The increased number of aged buildings in most urban centers such as Lagos, Ibadan, Kano and Port Harcourt has also increased the demand for urban renewal across Nigeria. Moreover, the infrastructure gap between urban populace and the environment has continued to widen. Lagos is the most populous state in the country. Here, it is said that a minimum of 2 out of 3 people live in some form of slum accommodation with little access to clean water, electricity, waste disposal and other essential services, placing the region as having one of the largest concentrations of urban poverty on the planet. Within the state itself, the number of slum communities outnumbers those of the well-managed regions. Flooding is common and day-to-day life is tough, but widely viewed as significantly better than the extreme poverty that exists in rural Nigeria and the violence, hence the wide-scale rural-urban migration that is occurring on a daily basis. Plans undertaken by the Nigerian government have clearly failed to confront the severity of what is already a crisis, especially regards to the disproportionate pace of the massive population rises to housing availability. Examples of initiatives include the Lagos Slum Upgrading Program at the end of the last century and the Lagos Metropolitan Development Governance Project. Back in July 2006, the World Bank identified 9 of Lagos' largest slums, which are Agege, Ajegunle, Amukoko, Badia, Bariga, and Makoko, for upgrading with a $200 million loan to improve drainage and solid waste management.
Our challenge or challenges largely infrastructures. If government can come in and develop Makoko, we are not saying they should come and build houses for us, but let's have street lights, let's have transformers, let's have good drains. People will come in and build because Makoko is central to all parts of Lagos. You get the island, you get the mainland, you get to Ajah and everywhere from here. And people around here are highly industrious. They sell fish, in large quantity to the community. People coming from outside Lagos to buy from here. We have a very good market, the Achejiri market. And apart from that, there are other things people do here. Presently, the family is toying with the idea of establishing a central mechanic village for the whole area, not just Makoko. We've talked to mechanics as far as Apapa, Ijora, Yaba, mainland. All the mechanics are now, we are toying with the idea, we've met with local government and want to see if we can, get a mechanic village here where they won't be going out to deface the streets of Lagos again. We give them a place like about 10 acres. We have it in Makoko. We construct it, and if government plans it well with us, it's going to be good.
Makoko is one of the slums we're working to upgrade, and then the whole essence of our project is such that first, it can, deflood the community, because flooding is one big problem in this community. As you can see, the roads we're walking on, this street is Acts of the Apostle, and it's trying as much as possible to ensure that we can connect, it's the road right in front of the market. The whole essence is to ensure that from the markets to houses in the communities and schools and other public facilities, there can be a reduction or absolute, eradication of flooding. And that's why we're investing first in the drains. And the drains will empty into the canal, which is right in front. And ultimately, these waters will then, move out of the community. Once it rains, it just 3, 4, 5 minutes, the whole water is channeled out through these facilities.
Makoko is a low-level area. It's the Makoko is beneath the sea. And once there's flood, once there's this rain, the place is flooded. But with good drains, with good plans, I'm sure we can take care of that. If the government, thank God LMDGP is trying to do 14 streets for us. 14 streets, that's enormous. That's good. If they can do it well and the drains are well laid, 1 meter by 1 meter, 1 meter wide, 1 meter deep, we will have gone a long way to solve some of our flood problems, right? And already we have some streets already constructed. If we can just, repair them, make them more durable. Makoko is, is a bypass from Adekunle, from Herbert Macaulay. The heavy traffic on that road can be eased off by people passing through Makoko, getting into Unilag, getting into Akoka, going into Ablejisa, going to Iwaya, Bariga area, and all those other places. Makoko can be used. And with time, if we have a good jetty, do you get it? We can use Makoko to move around. Do you get it? You can move around and, ferry can come to Makoko, go to Ikoro. The people who are coming from the island can park their vehicles here and, they go from here to other areas of the state, of the metropolis. And when they close, they come over, take their cars and leave.
All slums in Lagos now attract the attention of the state government with a view to realizing the state's vision to be Africa's model mega city. The state government says it has adopted a number of strategies and consequently started engaging stakeholders in critical sectors in order to achieve slum improvements and upgrade. Before now, Lagos slums were ignored and left as black spots. Then, approaches to the slum upgrade had been eviction without negotiations, outright negligence, and non-involvement of all parties in the process. The outcome had been so unbearable and too costly, not just for the victims, but also for the state, especially in the case where the renewal approach was adopted to address slum crisis.
Government shouldn't come with the idea of we want to take over the land because if we are not doing anything about it. We have our own ideas. We just need government assistance and collaboration in developing these areas. Land poachers will be coming. They don't have the papers. Even we are not saying they should not come and build Makoko for us. Look, we can turn Makoko into a mini Dubai. Dubai is a desert. But go there, see what they are doing. Go to the Arab countries, they are changing their areas now. We can change Makoko from the idea of being a slum area to something fantastic. The investors who are coming are telling us that they want to collaborate. They want to come and build estates. The people who are not going to be displaced, we are going to give them part of these places. Do you get it? But we are going to provide housing estates where people can come in and feel at home in Makoko. That is the idea we have now. That is what the family is saying. Let us turn Makoko into another Oniru estate. Let us turn Makoko into another Dolphin estate. So that the idea of mega city which Lagos State government is trying to plan will also be seen to be taking place in Makoko. Do you get it? But we are begging government that they should not come and start bobbing our head behind us. They should not come to Makoko and start talking to inconsequential people. Makoko is one. I'm the Baale of Makoko. I will not go to Kwara or Ekiti or Badagry and tell them I'm a Baale there. No. There are landowners. Those we welcome should come to learn to partner with us. They should not come and lord things over us. Do you get it? That is what creates problem. So government should not look at those areas and create problem in Makoko. The infrastructures we want them to build should be for everybody in Makoko, not for a section. Do you get it? When you go there and start talking to the people and say you want to build a jetty for them, you want to build school on water, which I didn't hear about. What are you doing? Are you getting what I'm saying? Come in, let us talk. You cannot tell me that the waterfront of my land, of my property, belongs to another person. Are you getting me? You cannot have a house and I tell you that the frontage of your house belongs to another person. If you are allowing one woman to come and put a kiosk there, and the woman now gives birth to a child, and the child gives birth to another person, that grandson should not wake up one day and say, this place belongs to my mother. They should know that you gave it to their grandmother. Do you get what I'm saying? There are lots of problems that government needs to be very careful in handling.
One key factor in our project is community ownership. And that's why at every level we are emphasizing community dialogue, community participation, community involvement in design of project, community involvement in execution, and above all, community-led sustainability. And so, for instance, the contractor is Laralek Ultimate. It's an indigenous company. But then we ensuring that as much as possible, all, labor, especially non-skilled labor and some skilled labor, is sourced within the community. So we're bringing the projects to improve the community on one hand, but on the other hand,
you see, life has just got easier. You stay connected to Channels TV, where news and innovations are shaping our world. Simply log on to channelstv.com to get the breaking news. Browse the homepage according to what matters to you. Tap on the extended coverage of business, sports, politics, lifestyle, infotech, entertainment, health, world news, and lots more. Click on the live link and see the news in real time. Do you want to watch the latest video of the day? It's just a click away. Friend us on Facebook, YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Google+, participate in Channels TV poll, and share your comments. It's a website you can talk to. Your voice will be heard. ChannelsTV.com. The news at your fingertips.
One of the major challenges identified with these projects is the inability of the government to have a maintenance program in place. Already, some of the commissioned projects are not usable or completely abandoned. This has further frustrated the beneficiaries of the project.
That we are using the water is good. For about 9 months to 1 year, it has been that it needs to repair or doing everything to it. Then we go to the local government at Ebutemeta. When we read there, they said that they are not the person that will do it for us. It's we are using it in our area. We do the maintenance and every damn thing. So they come here to make meeting with us, with the people in around by that time. So, and even though the woman that at Yaba local government too, she came to us by that time. When they do it later, I volunteer myself to spend about 35,000 in repairing about the sum of it. Later now, this thing again begin have the complaint. The people that is using this water, they are level themselves 500, 200, 100 in order to maintain it.
The first urban slum renewal in Nigeria was implemented in 1951 with a slum area of about 28.34 hectares in central Lagos. This urban renewal project was initiated due to poor accessibility, inadequate parking facilities, poor drainage and sewer systems, and lack of open space. Also, the poor health condition and waste disposal systems in urban slums have increased the outbreak of communicable diseases. Lack of sufficient funds limited the success of the first urban regeneration project in Nigeria. Other regeneration projects across the country have also been marred by lack of resettlement plan for existing occupants in such areas. Increased poverty and social injustice are also issues that have been made of major concern. The plight of major residents displaced forcefully by the military government of Lagos State in 1991 during its regeneration exercise readily comes to mind. Other challenges faced by the urban renewal in Nigeria include poor urban regeneration policy, low level of awareness, insufficient urban built environment professionals, differences in stakeholders' interests, and lack of infrastructural database.
In the final analysis, it is our hope that when access to these infrastructure is provided for the community, then their livelihoods can improve, and then their standards of living can improve. Because if you look around, one major issue in Makoko is sanitation, and it's not unconnected to these issues around us, the flooding, mosquitoes breeding, diarrhea is prevalent, but then when, there's a reduction, significant reduction in flooding, then all these can be a thing of the past.
And that's all we have time for today on the program. Thank you for being a part of the show. Do you have any comments or questions? You can send them to us by writing to sfile@channelstv.com. From me and the rest of the crew, thank you for watching.